Okay, thank you everyone. Today we are going to take a look at one of the new features that was added just for recording the customers that attend orientation that may or may not have ever completed or decide to complete a DEI application or enroll in DEI. So I want to start out by just showing you that the instructions are available in the lower left-hand corner of the webinar, but they're also available in the DEI Partner Guide. So you go to illinoisworknet.com/DEI Partner, and then under Full List of Resources, you'll see that we have one for customers who attend DEI orientation, and it's a PDF, and so just tells you how to get to that place. One of the things I want to point out in the instructions is that the purpose of this tool really is to just keep account and track of those people that attend the DEI orientation, and so that you can use those counts in your numbers so that you don't have to have two different places. So I know a lot of people are keeping spreadsheets or other ways other ways to track that information, and you can still do that, but when you enter them into the DEI tools, then they are added to your dashboard and included in counts and so forth. One of the things I do want to point out that is whenever you add a customer that with the limited information that would be available, that you just collect from like a sign-in sheet or something like that during the DEI orientation, is that when you add them using this Add a Customer as opposed to having them complete an application or entering them through IWDS, the process does not create an Illinois WorkNet account, and it doesn't sync to existing Illinois WorkNet accounts. That's because we need to make sure we have enough information in order to create an Illinois WorkNet account for them, or enough information to sync to to an Illinois WorkNet account. And I see Matt has a hand raised, so if you want to, if you're on the phone, you can go ahead and say unmute yourself, or you can go ahead and type in the chat.
Hey, I just want to know who's on.
Oh, here. I'll just do this. How about that?
Thank you. That's all.
Okay. Great. And if you are with somebody else and you didn't see your name in the attendee list, go ahead and let us know in the chat so Matt knows who's on the call. Okay. So let's dive right on into this. I want to point out that I met previously with Nicole, Matt, Tara, and we went ahead and decided that we definitely want to include this orientation customers in the count on your dashboard. So it is white because it's more of an information only, just again so you can know who those counts are, who's attended orientation. And so that's on round 4 and round 5. Okay. So whenever you select that list, you'll see your customers, and you can see the people that I've already entered in for, and it's filtered down to round 4. Yeah. Go ahead and I'll just do all. Okay. Again, one of the things that this is the really basic stripped down information that we have, and again, I just want to stress it does not create an Illinois WorkNet account for them, nor does it sync to an Illinois WorkNet account. So if these customers come in later on and include, they'll be added in for completing an application. Okay. And they'll be actually enrolled once they complete an application or they've been added into IWDS. Okay, so the way you get to this customer list is either through your orientation, your dashboard, you link to that, you click on the link like I just did, or you go to your customers and you'll see your, your DEI customers, IWS, and orientation customers. You go to orientation customers, click add a customer, and it's real simple. And the thing, oops, made up accounts here. You're going to default, obviously, to your region. And now this doesn't show as required, either the phone number or email, but one of these three gets kind of a grouping. So and the date of birth is not required, but if I just skip over and I put the event date was on the 1st, you're going to get an error message that says that you need to either enter an email address or a phone number. I know that, well, one of the concerns that came up is that, well, how much information, personal information, can you collect from these customers at the time of orientation? So we do have, we recommend that you get either a phone number or an email, because we really do need to follow up with those customers. But what do I have here? But you either need to have a phone number or an email, follow up with them. But if you just simply don't have that information, we still want you to be able to, identify that those customers came in. So you could select do not have any contact information. So if I hit add, okay, and then they'll be added to your customer list. Okay. So whenever you add them to your customer list, as long as you, regardless, they'll be added to your dashboard, so your orientation customers dashboard. But it also populates reports. And so if you have access to, for example, the round 4 outcome report, those numbers will be included in the outcome. Let me go down to one I've added recently, and I think OES 6. So you can see that 2 people attended orientation, and in order for them to be added to this line item, I have to be able to include some kind of contact follow-up information. So as long as they have an email or a phone number, they will be included in this outcome count. If you have access to the cumulative outcomes report, then you'll see, let me zoom in on this because this might be hard for you to see. Again, the same rules apply, that if they have an email or a phone number, then they can be included in this outcome activities line item for increased number of PWDs served through Illinois WorkNet. They'll be added to this list. Now you'll notice that this says 58. This is what we, and again, this is test data, so the numbers won't match up to yours, but you can see 58, this is what we had previously, but what we added was in parentheses an 8. So I'll have Cody add a note up here to just state that, the parentheses means that these are the orientation people that that you added to your list. The reason why the 58 and the 8 are separate here is because when I click on 58, then it goes to my list of customers, and if I click on 8, it goes to my orientation list of customers. And both of those are on separate tabs. So that's why we have had it broken out. Okay. And so that, okay, I see a question. Okay, for that number, no. Yeah, the question was, for that number, does a client need to have a service entered into Illinois WorkNet as well? No, based on the conversation that we had, was it last week or so, all they had to do was, to be included in those counts, was to have attended orientation and included follow-up contact information because you'd be following up with those customers. Whether they decided to get into the, enroll or complete an application in DEI, obviously we want them to, but you would still get a, count that should be added to your counts as being able to, provide a service that you're reaching out to them. And if I missed, and I think you're right, you're welcome. And if I misspoke anyone, make sure you correct me. But that's the way I understood it. Okay. So that's essentially it. It's really simple. One of the things that I am going to ask Cody to do is to add a delete button. So that if you have someone, for example, I think I had someone in here that I had added twice, you could just simply delete that person if you made a mistake. Are there any questions? Or anything anybody would like to add? Yeah. Oh, well, good. Good. That's good to hear. Okay, so with that, if you have any questions, just, let me know. And, you can always
This is Nicole.
Hi.
Hi.
Yeah.
How are you? I did want to add that we talked about in our last conversation that we didn't need to go back and retroactively put people into this system. It would be just moving forward. So do keep a hold of those previous spreadsheets that you have and things like that for monitoring purposes if they ask those questions. But anybody moving forward, you can add them into this. We don't want to make extra work for anybody to put past people that you've contacted in to the system.
Good point. Okay.
I would say yes. If you have time and you want to do that, go ahead and do it, but it's not a requirement.